Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that not a lot of people talk about. And there's a reason for it, I'm sure. I don't have enough self-awareness to have a problem with it, and I've also gotten a lot of questions about it. So today, we're going to talk about my toilet setup. I know that sounds funny, but a lot of you have actually had legit questions about, like, how do you poop in the woods? Like, what do you take? Do you take a bucket? That seems to take up a lot of space. So I'm going to kind of talk you through a couple of the variations that I've been through in the past and kind of what I've settled on and why. So again, I know it's funny and we're all going to laugh through this whole thing, but it is valuable information. And I'm sure my sponsors are going to be thrilled to see this video as well. But you know what? Listen, nobody else talks about it. I'm a normal guy. I go on overlanding trips. We need to know how to poop. We need to know what gear works the best for pooping. So I'm going to talk about it. I don't care. Let's talk about it. Before we dive into the video though, let me mention my sponsors. Last US Bags. None of these sponsors have anything to do with pooping, by the way, or poop gear, just so you know. But Last US Bags is one of them. Great company, American-made stuff. They make overlanding tool storage bags, gear bags, all kinds of cool stuff. Click the link in the description down below to go check out their stuff. More Overland Expo. Great event happening in February 2021. Ticket sales are not even open yet, so click the link below, go to Facebook, and say that you're interested so you'll get notified when tickets go on sale. And then last but not least, Northology Adventures. Great lady named Cindy Pope. She does events, custom events that you can sign up for, and she also puts out a monthly overlanding magazine that's totally free, digital magazine. So click that link below to go to her website, sign up for whatever you're interested in, and get yourself some free stuff. So without further ado, let's go into the video talking about poop. All right, guys, so surprisingly, a lot of you guys have asked for this video, so I decided to finally just put it together. I'm in Hoosier National Forest. I'm spending a couple days out here. Obviously, that means I'm probably going to have to poop, right? It's awkward. It's a funny word. It sounds strange to say it out loud. Luckily, I'm in the middle of the woods. There's no one around, so no one to judge me. But a lot of you have asked, like, what is your setup? Tell me more about this turbo toilet that you keep talking about, because I do keep talking about it. And just kind of how I set it up and how you can make it not so awful to poop in the woods. And I'm sure, and I encourage you to post up in the comments below, that a lot of you are going to say, all you need is a shovel and some toilet paper. Sure, if you're an animal, right? Like, I want to actually not hate my trip into the woods. First time I went camping, I didn't have a bucket. I didn't have a turbo toilet. I didn't have anything. And it was less than ideal. Like, it was not the end of the world. Like, I survived. It just wasn't great. And I'm here to have a good time. I want to enjoy myself. I want to drink some beer. I want to eat some good food, which means I'm going to have to poop. So I'm going to talk you through my whole setup here. I'm going to talk to you about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, the cost of everything. I'm going to put just links in the description down below so you guys can find it. So if you are looking for a starter overlanding setup for your toilet, I can help you find that stuff. All right, guys. So as I mentioned on today's hilarious episode of All Things Overlanding gear, mods, and DIY, I'm going to be talking about pooping. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you find it funny. I hope you find it entertaining. I hope you find it educational. If you are not already subscribed, I would definitely encourage you to click that subscribe button. Click the bell button to be notified when new content drops, because I actually put out new videos, multiple videos every single week. So consider me kind of your guide to beginning overlanding. I feel like there are a ton of people out there that are making content around, you know, big name brands and super expensive gear and going for months at a time. And I love that. I love that content. I love consuming it. I'm very envious of those guys and gals. But I feel like that's not the case for most of us, right? I feel like for most of us, we might be able to get out for one night or 2 nights or maybe 3 if we're really lucky, right? Like, we may be able to take a day off work and we may be able to go on a quick trip. So anyways, so that is kind of the point of my channel. My channel focuses more on like real weekend overlanders, weekend warriors, folks that love overlanding and want to do it, but maybe their rig is their daily too. Maybe they drive it to work every day. Maybe they can't just have like a fully dedicated rig. That's my rig over there, 2005 Nissan Xterra. I'm in Hoosier National Forest, like I mentioned, right now. I'm camping. I built my own DIY rooftop tent, which didn't cost a lot of money. I've got a used awning that I bought off of a friend. This is my whole setup. So built my own drawer system. Again, nothing super fancy, but it solves problems. It gets the job done, and it gives me what I need to be able to make trips easier, faster, saves me room on packing on the inside, and that's the point. So let's dive into the toilet setup. Again, this is a very low cost, very efficient toilet setup. So let's start with the tent. So this thing is called the Pop-Up Pod by Gigatent. And again, I will put a link in the description below to this and everything else I talk about in the video. This thing was like 30 bucks maybe on Amazon. It works fantastically. I've used it for like 2.5, 3 years now probably. It folds down super flat, maybe about the size of a trash can, maybe about 1.5 foot across in a circle, and it goes into a bag. It is a little bit of a pain to put down. It's really easy to pop up. You literally just like throw it out and it just opens itself up, which is pretty great. It does have this door on it, which as you can see, I've got it, attached up here so that it's open. Again, I'm in the middle of nowhere by myself, so I'm not as worried about privacy right now. But you can drop this down if you want to. One con of that is as soon as you drop that door down, it gets warm in that tent, especially if it's sunny out, if it's summer. You're going to be sweating. So one thing to think about, the tent gives you some privacy, but there are some trade-offs, right? So just be aware that is the case. So once you get in here, you can see it's got stakes for the corners, which is nice. So you can stake it down. You can also put some strings in it if you're really worried about it or it's super windy, and stake that out farther so that this thing is perfectly stable. I've never had to do more than just the stakes in the ground, but I live in Indiana. One other negative to this is you can see there's a bug there. I bet there's a bunch of bugs up on the roof. So this thing does trap bugs, right? Like it is a solid thing. So you got to be aware of that. I've removed the trash bag. If I ever use the restroom, then I try and clean it out as quick as possible just so that there aren't as many bugs in it. But you probably will have bugs. Another nice thing about this tent though is it does have these little sort of pockets so that you can store stuff in it, or what I use them for is more just setting stuff on them. So as you can see, I've got the toilet paper sitting over here, so it's not just on the muddy ground. It's not getting attacked by bugs or anything like that. So that's kind of what I use that for. But it is a nice little feature that it's got some little clean spots that you can set things. If you're reading a book and taking your time, you can set your book over there, And then the toilet itself. So this thing is called the Blackpine Turbo Toilet. The cool thing about this toilet, and the reason that I have it, is because previously I was using a 5-gallon bucket with a seat on it. The 5-gallon bucket with the seat on it is a fine option, and it's very inexpensive. The bucket was maybe $5. The seat was like $20. So you're talking a $25 toilet. So the cost is lower on a 5-gallon bucket with a seat. The problem is it's a little bit smaller diameter than this is, so it's pretty small to put your booty on. Also, it takes up a ton of room when you're in your vehicle. So I used to have to store that thing in the back as I'm driving on this trip. It would clank and clunk around. And it just took up a bunch of room. So the nice thing about the Blackpine Turbo Toilet is this thing folds flat, and I will show you how. So basically, inside of this liner, the way it works is you put a plastic bag in here, and they give you these little powder pouches, which basically help absorb urine, things like that, also smell. I don't really use the dust stuff. I try and pee before I have to go to the bathroom just to keep it out of there because I don't even want to mess with that. That's just gross. But they have these nice little bags that go in there, but you could use any trash bag. You just put it all the way down in here. That is also kind of a con of it, though, is that you're sitting on the plastic bag, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but some people have complained about it, and I can see why. Like, it is a little bit annoying to have to sit on the plastic bag. When you stand up, it kind of sticks to you. It's not perfect, but it keeps your stuff clean, right? Like, that way I don't have to worry about cleaning the seat. I don't have to worry about anything getting on the seat because it's covered by a trash bag. So that the seat itself is always perfectly clean because nothing ever touches it. But the way this works is it will actually hold up to 300 pounds. It's very sturdy, which I was surprised by. But what it is inside of this fabric, there are hinges. So you see, like, I just pushed one there and it starts to bend in. There are 4 hinges. So you push in these 4 hinges on these corners, and then this thing folds flat down to about, I'd say probably like 2 inches thick. It has a nice little bag that goes with it. So you put it in a bag, and then it takes up almost no space. Now, these things are about $50, and I'm not sure if the company is out of business or what, but I was only able to find it on like eBay and Overstock. So I'm going to put a link below to Overstock where you can purchase this toilet because that's where I got mine. So it is about $50. So it's about twice as much as a 5-gallon bucket with a seat lid on it, but it takes up, 1/10 of the space that the 5-gallon bucket does. So for me, wanting to go on more and more trips, wanting to conserve space on the inside, not have a bucket clanking around, not have to deal with storing it, it made perfect sense. I love to go overlanding. I love to go camping. I'm trying to maximize my storage. So for $50, that made sense. But you could go either way. And again, I will put links to everything in the description so you could pick up whichever one you choose. The only thing that I will say about this thing that's a little bit of a complaint is it's only about 12 inches tall. I'm 6'2". So when I sit on this thing, I feel like I'm about to fall down every single time. It's so low. So what I'm actually kind of considering, although I'm not sure how I would do it, I would like to reuse something that I'm already bringing, because the whole point of this toilet is not taking up a bunch of room. So I don't want to build some sort of box or crate or anything to set it on. But if it was higher, oh man, it would be perfect. So what I'm kind of considering is either like using some sort of a chuck box. You could probably, if you wanted to and you were comfortable with it, use your cooler. Put your cooler underneath of it, set the toilet on top, and then it would be like a normal toilet height. But so that is the only sort of complaint, is that it is lower than a 5-gallon bucket. So you do kind of feel like you're about to fall down. You feel like you're sitting on the ground. So it's not perfect, right? But again, you're pooping in the woods. It's better than leaning against a tree and digging a hole with a shovel and then covering it up. And way less impactful on the environment, which is great. So again, while it's uncomfortable, wanted to have the toilet talk, wanted to show you guys my setup. Surprisingly, a lot of you have asked for this, so thanks, weirdos. But all right, guys, so that was the video about toilet setups. Hope you found it entertaining and that we are all laughing together now. Again, there aren't very many videos out there. I looked. Nobody's talking about this, and I get it, but I went there, and I'm glad I did, and I hope it's helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, if you thought it was funny, feel free to click that like button below. If you're not already subscribed, most of my videos aren't talking about toilets or poop, but I will if I need to. So if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Comment below with any thoughts you have on the video, and I will definitely respond to you and get back to you. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.